Chapter 5, Lesson 7, Subtract Linear Expressions. Real world link. Dog sledding. The Iditarod is a dog sledding race over 1,150 miles across Alaska. The table shows two winning times. So there's race number one that took 9 days, 11 hours, 46 minutes, and 48 seconds. Race number two was 9 days, 5 hours, 8 minutes, and 41 seconds. What is the difference in hours, minutes, and seconds between the two races? Well, minus 9 is 0. 11 minus 5 is 6, so that's 6 hours. 46 minus 8 is going to give you 38, so that's 38 minutes. 48 minus 41 is 7. So the difference in hours, minutes, and seconds between the two races is 6 hours, 38 minutes, and 7 seconds. Number 2, explain how you could find the difference in times between any two races given the days, hours, minutes, and seconds. You are going to subtract the like units. Subtract the like units and keep the labels. Number 3, describe another situation in which finding the difference involves subtracting like terms. So I have some examples. Your example might be different than mine. I would have the example of comparing ingredient amounts in a recipe, such as cups of flour and teaspoons of vanilla. All right, so subtract linear expressions. When subtracting linear expressions, subtract like terms. So use zero pairs if needed. So we have example 1 where it says subtract, use models if needed. 6x plus 3 minus the quantity 2x plus 2. So we have 6x plus 3 displayed at the top. And then we are taking away 2x plus 2. So for that, we are taking away 2 x's and we're taking away 2 1's. So that leaves us with a 4x plus 1 as our final answer. For number 2, we have the quantity 2x minus 3 minus the quantity x minus 2. So for number 2, I would rewrite this problem because there's so much subtraction. 2x minus 3 minus quantity x minus 2. So to show this, or rewrite this, I would go in and change this to adding a negative 3 and adding a negative 2. So 2x plus negative 3, that quantity, minus the quantity x plus negative 2. So I'm going to create my 2 x's and my 3 positives. So I'm going to take away 1x. And then I'm going to take away a negative 2. Or I apologize, I'm taking away 2 negative 2's. And I had a minor little miss right here. Those actually should have been negative 1's. So excellent job for those that had questioned that. I apologize. So I want to take away 2 of these negatives. So I'm taking away 1 negative and a second negative. And I'm left with 1x minus 1. Or you could have that as x minus 1. So let's try these two problems to see how we're doing. So rewriting that, 5x minus 9 minus quantity 2x minus 7. So there's subtraction. I'm going to add and make that a negative 9, add and make that a negative 7. So I'm going to use my algebra tiles. All right, so there are my x's. I'm going to make 9 negatives. And then according to this, I want to take away 2 x's. And I want to then also take away 7 negatives. That leaves me with 3x minus 2. Letter B. We have the quantity 6x minus 10. Oops. Minus the quantity 2x minus 8. So there's subtraction. So I'm going to add and make that a negative 10, add and make that a negative 8. 6x. Oh, whoops. So I'm going to make 6 x's. And 10 negative ones. From here, I want to take away 2x, and then I want to take away negative 8. That leaves me with the quantity 4x minus 2. So example 3, find negative 2 minus 4 minus 2x. Use models if needed. So the quantity negative 2x minus 4 are displayed right here. And if you noticed, they went in and they changed it to adding a negative 4. Then from there, we want to take away 2x. Well, we don't have a positive 2x, so therefore we had to make those two zero pairs. So here are the zero pairs. So I made two positive x's, but I then had to make two negative x's as well. So because I used the zero pairs, negative 2x minus 4 minus the quantity 2x became negative 4x minus 4. So let's try this with letter C. We've got the quantity 3x minus 2 minus the quantity 5x minus 4. So I'm going to create 3 x's and 2 negatives. And I should have said in there that I'm adding and making that a negative 2, adding and making that a negative 4. So now I want to take away 5 x's. So 1, 2, 3. I only had 3, so I need to replace and make 2 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've taken away 5. I have negative 2, and I want to take away negative 4. So 1, 2. Well, I don't have enough, so I need to make until I have 3, 4. So that means that letter C becomes negative 2x minus 2. Trying letter D. The quantity 4x minus 4 minus the quantity negative x plus 2. So at the beginning, whoop, I want to change that to adding a negative 4. So I'm going to create 4 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to make 4 negatives. Okay, now the right side is telling me to take away negative 2x's. Well, you'll notice that there's no negative 2x's, so I had to create negative 2. Here's 1, there's 2. But because I added 2, I have to do the additive inverse of making, I'm sorry, I have to have 0 pairs of having positive 2's. So now I can take away 2x's. Then I want to take away 2 positives. Well, I don't have 2 positives, so I need to make 2 positives, but I have to make the opposite, or I'm sorry, I have to make the 0 pair as well. So I add 2, or I'm sorry, I subtract 2. So I'm taking away 1, 2. So that leaves me with 6x minus 6. So we're going to use the additive inverse to subtract as another means. So when subtracting integers, you add the opposite or the additive inverse. The same process is used when subtracting expressions. So for number 4, we have the quantity 6x plus 5 minus the quantity 3x plus 1. We're going to set this up like a subtraction problem. I'm sorry, we're going to set it up like a vertical subtraction problem. And we're going to subtract our like terms. So I'm setting it up to where it has the x's vertically and the y's. I'm sorry, the x's and the constants. So I want to subtract both values. So I'm taking 6x and subtracting 3x. I'm going to take 5 and I'm going to change this to subtracting 1. So 6x minus 3x is 3x. Plus 5 minus 1 is 4. So my final solution is 3x plus 4. Number 5, we have the quantity 4x minus 7 minus the quantity negative 5x minus 2. So I'm going to do the additive inverse and make that adding a negative 7, adding a negative 2, and rewriting that. So the quantity negative 4x plus negative 7 minus the quantity negative 5x plus negative 2. So for negative 4x plus negative 7, I'm going to add or do the additive inverse. So I'm going to add and make it a positive 5x. I'm going to add and make that a positive 2. So plus 5x plus 2. Now I'm going to solve this. Negative 4x plus 5x is 1x. Plus negative 7 plus 3, sorry, negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. Can't have plus negative, so it becomes 1x minus 5. So let's try letter E and F. All right, letter E, I want to add and make that into a negative 3. So that becomes 4x plus negative 3. And then I'm going to do the additive inverse. So I'm going to add and make that into a negative 2x. I'm going to add and make this into a negative 7. So I'm adding a negative 2x plus a negative 7. 4x plus negative 2x is 2x. Plus negative 3 plus negative 7 is negative 10. 2x minus 10 is your solution. All right, letter F. I'm going to add, make that into the a negative. Then I'm going to take my middle value, add, make it into a negative 2x, add and make it into a negative 3. 5x plus negative 4 plus negative 2x plus negative 3. 5x plus negative 2x is 3x, plus negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7. Can't leave it as plus negative, so 3x minus 7. Final answer. Example 6. A hat store tracks the Sale of college and professional team hats for M months. The number of college hats sold is represented by 6M plus 3. The number of professional hats sold is represented by 5M minus 2. Write an expression to show how many more college hats were sold than professional hats. Then evaluate the expression if M equals 10. So we're taking the quantity 6M plus 3, which is the number of college hats, and we are subtracting the quantity 5M minus 2, which are the professional hats. So there is subtraction, so I'm going to add and make that a negative 2. In fact, let me change that color. Adding, making that a negative 2. So I'm going to rewrite that. The quantity 6M plus 3 minus the quantity 5M plus negative 2. Well, I'm going to do the additive inverse. So I'm going to add and make this into a negative 5M. I'm going to add and make this into a positive 2. So 6M plus 3 plus negative 5M plus 2. So commutative, oops, I'm going to set that up vertically. You could actually set up horizontally. That would have also worked the way that I was setting it up. So 6M plus negative 5M is 1M. 3 plus 2 is 5. 1M plus 5 is one way of writing your answer, or you could always do M plus 5. So if we wanted to evaluate it for M equals 10, that becomes 10 plus 5, which is 15. So 15 more college hats teams were sold.